Porsche 6th Carrera Cup Deutschland.
There will be lots of drama, that is for sure. The gloves are off.
Attacke.
What amazing battles going on.
Da musst du alles auf den Punkt bringen.
Oh my goodness.
Da wird's eng. Wow, da geht einer massiv fliegen.
What an amazing move.
Das ist Rennsport at its best.
Welcome back to the Styrian Mountains. Welcome back to the Red Bull Ring. This is the penultimate round of Porsche 6th Carrera Cup Germany 2024. And what a bruising race we saw yesterday. Larry Tenforder came into yesterday with a 51-point lead in the championship ahead of Harry King. Harry King did everything that he needed to do. He came home in first place, coming through the pack to overtake Alex Tauscher. Larry Tenforder came home in third place. It meant that Harry King was able to close in on Larry Tenforder to a 42-point gap. There are just two drivers left in the overall Drivers' Championship now who could take the win. The defending champion is Larry Tenforder, looking for his fourth ever championship in Porsche 6th Carrera Cup Germany, but Harry King wants to ruin his dreams. It is Larry Tenforder's last year in Carrera Cup racing. He's announced his retirement and he wants to go out on a high. Today, he could well secure the championship. If Larry Tenforder wins this race, Harry King will need to finish second to take the championship to the last round. The last round, which is at the end of October in Hockenheim. We are at the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg. Conditions are considerably better than they have been all week long. The rain has cleared, the sun has come out, and we are getting ready for what will be a thrilling race, race 14 of a 16-race season in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. The winner in the rookie category yesterday was Cass Havercourt. He came home in second place, a solid drive. Already mentioned Larry Tenforder was in third place, and it was his 77th podium in this legendary series. The pole sitter was Alex Tauscher, and he had also earned pole position for this race today as well. I say had in the past tense because yesterday, what looked like a dream weekend started to come undone for Alex Tauscher. He led the opening part of the race. He was overtaken by Harry King, but then he was asked to visit the penalty box as a result of exceeding track limits. And just to add insult to injury, the visit to the penalty box also gave him another reprimand. A third reprimand means a 5-place grid drop at his next race. And our pole sitter for this race now starts in P6. Alex Tauscher with a bit of work to do there. It's not all over, but he was on a bit of a high after the qualifying session on Friday afternoon, but has come crashing down to earth with a bit of a bang. But he can still do plenty from P6 on the grid. It means that we have a new pole sitter for this race, and that person is Flint Schuring, who takes his first ever pole position in his 14th race in Porsche 6th Carrera Cup Germany. He's been there or thereabouts all season long and in a great position to take maybe his first ever win. A driver who took his first win this year, Robert de Haan. He's had a very much an up and down season. He came into yesterday's event leading the rookie championships, but a very difficult day yesterday saw him finishing out of the points, and it saw Cass Havercourt jump to the top of the rookie standings, but Cass leads Robert de Haan by just 1 point. And the driver who starts on pole position, Flint Schuring, is in third place in the rookie championship. He is just 17 points adrift, so he has moved himself very much into contention in the rookie championship. In the Pro-Ams, Sören Spreng, who leads the way in the Pro-Am championship, also had a very difficult day yesterday. It was a win in the Pro-Ams for Michael Essmann, and he is now just 13 points back in the Pro-Am Championship from Sören Spreng. In the team standings, Proton Huber competition have a healthy lead of 57 points over Uniserver by Team GEP Elite. But it could all change Yesterday, we saw 5 penalties issued due to collisions. We've seen grid drops in this race, track limits, so many things could happen. It's going to be 30 minutes of racing, and it's going to be dramatic here at the Red Bull Ring, a circuit that is 4.318 kilometers around. That equates to about 2.683 miles with 10 turns. 7 to the right and 3 to the left. Lots of undulation. Very steep climb up into turn 3. A great overtaking opportunity as we ride up towards that corner. Now let's have a look at the starting grid for this race. It's Flint Schuring with his first ever pole position. Cass Havercourt, yesterday's rookie winner, alongside championship leader Larry Tenforder, his main rival alongside him on row 2 of the grid. Then it's Huban Eindhoven, the earlier pole sitter Alex Tauscher, now down to P6. Lining up in 7th, Robert De Haan, keeping an eye on him from there. Also Ariel Levy, both of them on row 4, looking very dangerous. Theo Overhaus, he won at the Saxon Ring last time out. He lines up alongside Marvin Klein. Good to have him back on the grid for this. Another first-time winner last time out, Janis Stiak, has Senna van Serlen. He's having a great weekend, lining up 12th on the grid. Jan Seifert and Colin Berninghausen line up on row 7. Colin, another driver who is getting quicker and quicker. Great Britain's James Kellett lines up alongside Horst Felix Felbermeyer at his local track. Behind them is Nathan Sharp, and then our leading Pro-Am qualifier, Zoran Spreng. He is 18th on the grid. 19th on the grid, Keanu Bloom and Gianluca Tucharoglu. They're on row 10. On row 11, yesterday's Pro-Am winner, Michael Essmann, with Sebastian Freimut for company. On row 12 of the grid, Kai Pfister, and we welcome Robert Schlunzern, who is here this weekend in the Allied racing car as a substitute driver. Great to have him here at the Red Bull Ring. The sun is shining. Temperature, well, it's a bit nippy actually, 10.8 degrees centigrade. The track temperature is 16.6, so it is getting a bit warmer. We're not expecting any rain, but getting heat into the tyres and into the brakes is going to be very, very important. This formation lap, it's more than just tootling around on a Sunday morning. It's about getting the cars into that optimum window, so when they all arrive into turn 1, they've got the grip that they need to take that right-hand turn. So at the end of this formation lap now, the cars will soon gather on the grid. Flint Schuring, an awful lot of pressure on his shoulders. It's a all-rookie front row. This year, quite unprecedented, really. We've had 6 first-time winners in Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Germany. Robert De Haan, Marvin Klein, Cass Havercourt, Alex Tauscher, Theo Overhaus, and Janis Stiak, all first-time winners. Can Flint Schuring make it 7? We're going to be finding out in just a few minutes. The cars are now just forming up on the grid. We're waiting for the last few to get into position, and in a few moments we will see a green flag to indicate that all is well. A wonderful sight. Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Germany. Deafening. So spectacular. Are you ready? The Styrian Mountains are about to echo with the sound of Porsche. The 5 red lights are on. The 5 red lights are off. We are go. A great start for Flint Schuring. Out of the traps he comes in towards turn 1. The car's running so close together. Up the climb into turn 1. Flint Schuring in first place. Harry King already got his elbows out. Keep an eye on this. This is for the championship. It's really important that Harry King finishes in front of Larry Tenforder. They're running side by side out along turn 2. Look how close they are to each other. Almost making contact. Larry Tenforder with the advantage into turn 3, but he goes deep. Harry King into that 3rd place at the moment. Can Larry Tenforder come back at him? Out towards turn 4 they come. The rest of the cars filing through. It's Flint Schuring in the lead. Cass Havercourt in 2nd. The battle for the championship. Larry Tenforder with his nose in front, but Harry King to the inside into turn 4. Finally muscling his way into 3rd place. Alex Tauscher's there. We got a spinner, and it's Alex Tauscher who has spun. So the driver who had such trauma yesterday now pointing in the wrong direction. direction. Jan Seifert is there as well. Now, if Jan Seifert can't get that car going, we're going to see a safety car. So we're going to have one eye on that. He's able to get it going, so no safety car is needed. What an opening lap from Larry Tenforder and Harry King. There's Theo Overhaus going out wide on the corner, drifting around, but our race leader, Flint Schoering, Cas Havercourt, Harry King did what he needed to do and is in front of Larry Tenforder at the moment. Larry Tenforder will be fighting back. There's Mikael Esman, who's up with Søren Spreng. Those are the two main challengers in the Pro-Am Championship. Across the line they come. A great start from Robert De Haan. We said keep an eye on him. He's up into 5th place. In towards turn 1 they come. So what a dramatic opening lap. It is 30 minutes plus 30 laps plus 30 minutes plus 1 lap of racing. Get there in the end for this race 14 of the season. Looking down the hill from turn 3 here. Flint Schoering, Cas Havercourt, so much pressure for these drivers. 3 abreast, they come into the corner. One of the Allied Racing cars, I think that was Nathan Sharp, just going across the curve, but everybody survives. Here's Colin Berninghausen now challenging for position alongside Janis Stiak. Looking down from turn 4 once again. Flint Schoering with it all under control, but still lots of challenges further back. So Søren Spreng is leading in the Pro-Am category at the moment. We ride on board with Søren Spreng, but his main challenger, Mikael Esman, is 2 places behind. There is just Gianluca Tucciaroglu who is between those 2 challengers. You can see how hard everyone is fighting. Keanu Bloom from further back on the grid in the number 42 car, pushing his way forward. We're on board with Theo Overhaus at the moment. So Theo Overhaus, who's down in 16th place, so not a great start from him. We can see Keanu Bloom in 15th place. So Overhaus has dispatched Keanu Bloom. Right, looking down from the pit straight again as we continue. So Flint Schoering with a 3/10, well, nearly 4/10 space over Cas Havercourt. Harry King in that 3rd place. This is important. Harry King with the fastest lap of the race. Both he and Larry Tenforder will want to get the points. They cannot afford a non-finish in the championship deciding part of the season. There's Theo Overhaus once again. We're looking back from the number 34 car. Keanu Bloom just there as well. Right, here come the lead pack. The first 3 just breaking away a little now. So Larry Tenforder just falling back from Harry King. Colin Berninghausen lining up. Horst Felix Felbermayr coming through for position as well. But we've got one eye on the lead battle, also one eye on Søren Spreng, who's fighting for that Pro-Am Championship. Got just under 26 minutes plus 1 lap of racing remaining. Gianluca Tucciaroglu putting the pressure onto Søren Spreng. This is for 17th place, and Søren Spreng knows that Tucciaroglu is not in the same battle as him, so he won't want to get involved with him, may want to let him go, but he does know that he's got that buffer of Tucciaroglu and Sebastian Freimer between himself and his main championship challenger, Mikael Esman. The stewards are taking a look at the Jan Seifert incident and the Alex Tauscher. It looks like Theo Overhaus was the one that was involved in that as well, that we saw on the opening lap. Let's have another look at the opening lap. It was a good start from Flint Schoering. Cas Havercourt did have a little look to the outside, but look at Larry Tenforder and Harry King. There's nothing in it as they head in towards turn 1 and out along towards turn 2. A little bit of rubbing. They say rubbing is racing. Well, everybody survived. This is what we like to see. This is why we love Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Germany. The lockups into turn 3. Everybody absolutely on the edge of adhesion. You can see how hard Harry King was pushing. Robert De Haan had a great view of that, and that's how he made the challenge to the inside. This is where Alex Tauscher had his problems as well. Looking down from turn 4, that was where Alex Tauscher turned around with Theo Overhaus and Jan Seifert. We've got a track limit infringement already. That is for Ariel Levy as we look again at Theo Overhaus getting involved with that. Well, everybody might have an opinion on that. We're going to let the stewards take a look at that. If there are any penalties to come, then we will find out about it. And Tauscher did get collected by Jan Seifert. Right, car 1 Larry Tenforder, a track limit infringement at turn 1. We saw it yesterday. Good grief, that's a fair state at the back of car 13. Proton Huber competition are going to be having to do a bit of work on that to get it ready for the next round at Hockenheim. Those are the track limits markers. Well, there's one that's gone, 2 left anyway. On board with Larry Tenforder. This is a replay of Harry King up in front because Harry King found a route past Cass Havercourt. So Harry King up into second place now, putting Cass Havercourt between himself and Larry Tenforder. Harry King, who won the race yesterday, he came from behind. He's clearly utterly dialed in here at the Red Bull Ring. Looks like we've lost Keanu Bloom for ID Racing, so he's into the pits, and any chance of scoring points look to be gone. But Harry King now up into second place. Now Larry Tenforder being challenged by Robert Dehaan, the man who has overtaken so many cars over the last few races, seems to be coming from the back all the time. Really, really rapid. Puts the challenge on Larry Tenforder into turn 3 and round to turn 4. He can't make it stick at that point, so he drops in behind. But Robert Dehaan in Timo Bernhard's Team 75 Bernhard car, very, very quick. And Larry Tenforder, having been attacking Harry King, now is defending. He's got Cass Havercourt between him and his main championship rival. Again, just to reiterate, Larry Tenforder needs to finish this race. He needs to get as many points as he can. A DNF would turn this championship on its head. You can see here, if the race finished now, there would be 35 points between Larry Tenforder and Harry King. There will be 50 points available after this weekend, so it would take the championship to the final round at the Hockenheim Ring in October. Massive crowd of people here in the sunshine, looking down as Robert Dehaan, having been attacking Larry Tenforder, is now having to defend from Huub van Eindhoven. Van Eindhoven in that 6th place, challenging for position as well. So lots of challenges up and down, but no such problems for Flint Schuring. He has about 9 tenths over Harry King, but Harry King will not be taking any prisoners. He will need the points because the difference between first and second is 5 points. That could prove crucial at the end of the day. So he will be doing all that he can to close in on Flint Schuring. 9.924 now up to 0.939. So Schuring seems to have a handle on this at the moment, but tyre preservation is absolutely everything. Flint Schuring around turn 6 at the moment. A corner is taken in 3rd gear at about 120 kilometers an hour. Then down to turn 7, another 3rd gear corner. Then into out of the more technical part of the circuit as they head towards turn 8 and 9. In towards turn 9, carrying about 230 kilometers an hour as Jan Seifert wanders back and finds somewhere peaceful probably to sit and reflect. Not been a great weekend for him. He got a 15th place yesterday. So out of turn 10 comes Flint Schuring. This is the fast part of the track. Out of turn 10, it will be flat out in towards turn 1, reaching about 235 kilometers an hour in 5th gear, pulling about 8,500 RPM. On board with our Pro-Am leader, Søren Spreng. He's in 18th place. Sebastian Freimut has found a route past. Now, behind Søren Spreng is his main championship rival, Mikael Esman. And if the race finished now, there would be a 16-point gap between first and second in the Pro-Am Championship. The Pro-Ams are running for half the points that everybody else is. So a win in the Pro-Ams is 13 points, not the 25 that the drivers would get in the overall standings. Looking down from turn 3, Søren Spreng now with Mikael Esman challenging to the outside. First and second in the Pro-Am Championship, fighting each other together on the track. If Mikael Esman could get past Søren Spreng, he would close in on Spreng in the championship. Out of the long turn towards turn 4, we're looking at the moment under the braking. But Mikael Esman flashing the lights, looking impatient. Søren Spreng in that 18th place, and he'll want to do everything that he can. Just behind them is another Pro-Am driver, Robert Schlunsen. Great to have him here for Allied Racing, but he's not a factor in the championship hunt. It's very much between these two drivers. Car 21, penalty lap time 2 times for causing a collision. That's Marvin Klein. So the stewards have taken a look and decided that Marvin Klein has caused a collision. He will have to visit the penalty box. It's on the exit of turn 3. It's a 50-meter box, and they'll have to pass through that at no more than 50 kilometers an hour twice. That will be the equivalent of adding about 10 seconds onto his lap times. We have a lot of track infringements coming up again, a lot of track limits popping up all the time. So drivers may well see penalties coming. The next one is James Kellett, the driver who yesterday scored his best ever finish in Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Germany. He had his worst ever start and his best ever finish. It was a 7th place, showing what he is worth and how good he is, as we see Marvin Klein dipping into the penalty box. Shortly behind him will come James Kellett, because he has also exceeded track limits. So that's a real shame. At the moment, Kellett is in a very solid 9th place, but that is going to drop him well down the order. He'll be very frustrated about that. Just over 18 minutes remaining of this race. Flint Schuring leads the way, 0.671. So Harry King has taken about 3/10 out of the race leader. 3rd place, Cass Havercourt, 2nd in the rookies in this race. There's confirmation of James Kellett's penalty lap. Such a shame. He was pretty despondent after qualifying on Friday. He really felt as though he'd got everything that there was to be had out of the car. He was buzzing last night, having made it up to P7 after what was a bruising race, and anybody who came home with 4 wheels on the wagon were a winner in my book. But he was really buzzing yesterday, and this is a real shame, because he's had a great race up until now, getting up to that 9th place. But the penalty box beckons. Right, someone else who beckons is Harry King. He is closed in on Flint Schuring. It's about half a second. Flint Schuring has been dreaming of emulating his brother Morris. He's been dreaming of standing on the top step of the podium. Up until now, Flint Schuring has not stood on the overall podium. He's won in the rookie category twice, but he's never stood on the overall podium in Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Germany. To stand on the top step, what a way to do that. And Harry King is going to try and make all of his dreams fall apart. He's come to break the heart of Flint Schuring, because he has a championship to think of. The question is, how much of a fight will Flint Schuring put up? The answer is not too much. There's a bit of a gap on the inside, maybe going a bit wide into the corner. That was around into turn 6, then down in towards turn 7. Flint Schuring looking very vulnerable to the Allied Racing driver. Harry King knows this extra 5 points could well be critical when the championship is over at the end of the year. 1st and 2nd, running nose to tail at the moment. Yesterday's winner, the driver who finished in 14th place yesterday, leading this race. Car number 16 out towards turn 10, staying within the track limit markers. Out onto the pit straight they will come. Harry King will pick up a toe as they head past the pits, and he will duck out from behind Flint Schuring. Or will he? In towards turn 1, has a little look to the inside, but it's going to be around turns 2 and 3 where he'll have the best opportunity. Turn 2 taken absolutely flat out at about 235 kilometers an hour in 5th gear, and then up the steep hill. It is a very steep hill. In towards turn 3 they come. He looks to the inside, to the outside, and back to the inside. There's a little gap there. Flint Schuring goes deep. Now Harry King, a little bit of contact, a little tap. He backs out of it slightly, allows Flint Schuring chance to recover. Good, fair racing from Harry King. Still Flint Schuring holding on as they head towards turn 4. Harry King has a look to the outside. Will he duck to the inside? Flint Schuring has it covered off at the moment. Goes deep into the corner. Out of turn 4 they come towards turn 5. Meanwhile, Mikael Essmann has had a track limits infringement at turn 10. We've got one eye on that as well. Søren Spreng has just broken clear of him for the time being. But this is the battle that is keeping us occupied. It is the battle for the lead of race 14 of this 16-race season. It could be the battle for the championship, because Larry Tenforder is back in 4th place, defending from Robert De Haan. This is how close Harry King came to getting past Flint Schuring. And I have to say all credit to Harry King, because he wants to be fair. He doesn't want to get involved and do anything that's going to ruin the day for Flint Schuring. So he's backed out of it. He's got plenty of opportunities. He's still got 14.5 minutes plus 1 lap remaining to get past the number 16 car. Has a look to the inside once again into turn 1. In the background, Cass Havercourt has broken clear of Larry Tenforder. Harry King taking a very wide line out of turn 1. Out towards turn 2 they come. Foot absolutely buried onto the floor. Up the hill they will go in just a few moments. The steep uphill to turn 3, carrying an awful lot of speed. Then the heavy braking, the gap on the inside. Flint Schuring dangling the carrot. Harry King not able to fill the gap at the moment. Great cameras here as we can see how close these two drivers are getting. For the lead of the race, what a battle this is. Flint Schuring still leading the way, not letting the pressure get to him. Remember, this is his first ever season in Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Germany. Harry King almost pushing him around turn 4. Towards turn 5 they come, and in towards turn 6 once again. Flint Schuring still with it under control at the moment. How much longer can he hold off the immense pressure that Harry King is putting on? Harry King being patient. He must not pick up a penalty. If he finishes in the gravel trap, then it will be a championship that goes the way of Larry Tenforder. So, adjusting the brake balance once more. Great camera angle once again. And still Flint Schuring holding on out of turn 10. Look how close Harry King is, almost pushing him around the corner. Surely this is where he's going to make the challenge. Out onto the pit straight they come once again. Absolutely. One behind the other, almost glued together. In towards turn 1. Flint Schuring taking a nice wide line around into turn 1. Again, through to turn 2. This is the best opportunity on the circuit to make the pass. In towards turn 2 they come. Flint Schuring still leading the way. Harry King just dropping back a little bit, but now moves to the outside, up the hill towards turn 3, tries to sell the dummy, but Flint Schuring has him covered off once again. They get really close into turn 3. How much patience is Harry King going to have? Meanwhile, Theo Overhaus has received a penalty lap for forcing another car off the track. Theo Overhaus for forcing off Keanu Bloom, and he is going to have to visit the penalty box. But Theo Overhaus down in 10th place at the moment. He's going to drop from there. Right, just over 12 minutes remaining, and Harry King has received a black and white flag for track limits. He's had a couple of them already, so any more of those, he may well end up in the penalty box. That would be a gift for Flint Schuring, wouldn't it? We saw how wide Harry King was coming out of turn 10, and the stewards have picked up on that and given him a warning, and if it happens again, he may well get a penalty lap. So Flint Schuring is able to break clear once again. This is the corner where the penalties are so often earned out of turn 10 onto the pit straight. Once again, Cass Havercourt nice and solid in 3rd place. Larry Tenforder just keeping going in 4th place. So on board once again with Harry King out of turn 1, out towards turn 2. So if the race finished now, Larry Tenforder in 4th place, Harry King in 2nd place. The gap between them would be 35 points heading into Hockenheim, with 50 points still on the table. If Harry King could get up into the lead of this race, the gap would be 30 points, so 5 points difference in that, and would put him very much still in contention for the championship. The championship, Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Germany 2024, is between two drivers, Larry Tenforder and Harry King, the only two drivers mathematically now in the championship, with Larry Tenforder leading the way. But Harry King leading Larry Tenforder in this race. Now, having a look at a replay here, this is how close Harry King got to Flint Schuring in turn 10, and that is where the track limits were exceeded. Stayed inside the bollard, but going very wide. The cars making contact, a little bit of a nudge, just about get away with that. Out onto the pit straight. Once again, there you came after that. This is on board, another replay of how close they're getting. Harry King knows exactly how long a Porsche is and how close he can get. So, a car onto the grass. That's Søren Spreng, the leader of the Pro-Am race, the leader of the Pro-Am championship. So that's allowed Mikael Esman to jump into the lead of the Pro-Am race. So Søren Spreng having a bit of a moment. Let's see what happened there. Looked like it might have been contact with Alex Tauscher. Got onto the grass, not much traction to be had there. Destroyed a BWT marker board. casting a part of it into the path of Gianluca Tucciaroglu, but most importantly, look at all the debris there. Mikael Essmann is able to sail through. Mikael Essmann, yesterday's winner in the Pro-Am race, is now leading in the Pro-Am category with a little over 9 minutes remaining. You can see that Søren Spreng got out onto the gravel, was able to keep it going, but he now drops down into 22nd place and 4th in the Pro-Am race. The stewards are taking a look at that. Alex Tauscher and Søren Spreng. It was up at turn 3 where they got together, and they're going to have a look and see if there's any penalties to be awarded. And he did well to keep that going, actually. The gravel trap, once you slow down, get below a certain speed there, you will get stranded and you are going nowhere. Gianluca Tucciaroglu has a bit of extra luggage on board the number 91 car, and that's going to affect handling, that's going to affect cooling, but he'll keep going, but he'll know that there's a large quantity of polystyrene stuck in the front of his car. Looking down at our race leaders, Flint Scheuring has opened up a gap of 1.2 seconds over Harry King. Harry King, having been pressuring so hard for so long, is now looking vulnerable as Cas Havercourt closes in on that second place. So having been challenging for the lead, just seeing there that Horst Felix Felbermayr and the 55 car of Colin Berninghausen, no further action following one of many incidents that we've seen throughout this race. This one between those two cars. There's Søren Spreng who rejoins. But yes, second place Harry King has fallen back a little into the clutches of Cas Havercourt. Our leading driver, Flint Scheuring, is also our leading rookie. Our leading Pro-Am driver is Mikael Essmann, that man there who came into this race as the championship leader, now in 4th place in the Pro-Am. This is a replay, and he really is probably feeling a little bit battered and bruised, and that was where Alex Tauscher got into him, and then it was later that he went into the gravel trap. But that is where it all started to come undone for Søren Spreng, and you can see from his body language, he is not impressed by that at all. He continues, he will get points if he finishes in 4th place, but it will allow Mikael Essmann to close in on the Pro-Am Championship. So Flint Scheuring looking to have this under control. Larry Tenforder now under attack from Robert De Haan in 5th place. Robert De Haan had a difficult day yesterday, but he started in 7th in this race and was pretty confident he was going to be able to move forwards. And now challenging Larry Tenforder, trying to help Harry King there, because if he can get past Larry Tenforder and steal a few more points away, that would help. There is Gianluca Tucciaroglu with the extra aerodynamic aid, or maybe not, out of turn 10. Mikael Essmann just behind him. So Tucciaroglu in 18th place. Had a tough day yesterday, recorded a non-finish after a really great weekend at the Sachsenring. It was a difficult day yesterday, and it's not a lot better today with the remnants of somebody else's accident in his radiator at the front. No problems for Flint Scheuring at the moment. Can he hold on for another 6 minutes plus 1 lap? You can see from the little graphic on your screen that Harry King has recorded the fastest lap. 4th place, Larry Tenforder. Under pressure from Robert De Haan. Now Huub van Eindhoven fancies some of the action as well. So it is the battle of the Dutch drivers. Larry Tenforder, Robert De Haan, Huub van Eindhoven. In the background, Ariel Levy. Fairly quiet race in 7th place, just getting on with the job, no dramas, no such issues for Larry Tenforder though. He has Robert De Haan now monstering him, with Huub van Eindhoven also wanting to get involved. Robert De Haan will be keen to get past as quickly as possible, because if he makes a move on Larry Tenforder and it doesn't stick, he could find himself relegated by Huub van Eindhoven. Alex Tauscher has received his 2nd penalty lap of the weekend. This is for forcing another car off the track. That's her car being Søren Spreng. Out onto the pit straight we come once again towards turn 1. Larry Tenforder under a massive amount of pressure. The 3-times champion, the championship leader, the most successful driver in the history of Porsche's 6th Carrera Cup Germany. Currently looks to be struggling a little bit for pace in that 4th place. Will want to just bring it home, get the points. Robert De Haan can see an opportunity to get past him. To remind you, Robert De Haan is behind Cas Havercourt by 1 point in the rookie standings. If things finish now, Cas Havercourt will extend his rookie championship lead over Robert De Haan. Robert De Haan wants to minimise that damage by getting past Larry Tenforder and moving his way forwards and potentially getting closer to Cas Havercourt. But Larry Tenforder knows how to defend. He needs to do it for another 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Flint Schuring still in control at the front. Harry King 1.353, now 1.607, now 1.771 seconds behind. So King falling back from the race leader. Is he going to have to settle for second place? Third place, Cas Havercourt. Then this fight here, Larry Tenforder with Robert De Haan for company. Huub van Eindhoven, Ariel Levy a little bit back from them, but rushing to join this battle. Senna van Serlen, a good race from him, yet again in 8th place. Janis Stiak in 9th. James Kellett, despite that visit to the penalty box, up into 10th place. He is a man on fire this weekend. The next person to the penalty box, Marvin Klan in car number 12, has been instructed to take a penalty lap. He's Marvin Klan, 21, I beg your pardon, and he is down in 13th place at the moment, so no real points for him here today either. You can see that if the race finished now, it would be a 35-point gap between Larry Tenforder and Harry King as we look down from the perspective of turn 3, with now 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining of this race. Out of turn 3 they will go, reaching again up to about 235 kilometers an hour in 5th gear towards turn 4. The right-hander, heavy braking into that right-hander, also drops downhill a fair bit. A 2nd gear corner taking at about 86 kilometers an hour. And then it's through to turns 5 and 6, a fairly technical part of the circuit. Through to turn 7, 8, and then it's into turn 9 where they start to pick up the pace and get as close as possible to the car in front to pick up the slipstream along past the pits. 2.5 minutes remaining of this race. I've got one eye on the screen, another eye on what is coming from race control, because so many cars with track limits infringements. Car 15 has had a penalty lap as well, so Janis Stiak, the next one to fall foul of the stewards. And Søren Spreng once again looks to be having dramas. It looks as though he's got problems. Car 5, Søren Spreng, he'll need to just bring it home to try and get the points, but he looks like he's struggling, and there are definite problems. The car has come to the stop. That is, he's missed the pit entry there. So whether he wanted to peel into the pits or not, you can see that if the race finished now, his lead in the Pro-Am standings would be just 6 points over Mikael Esman. I think picking up points is going to be a real challenge here. He's clearly got big damage on that car. He's indicating to the right. He just wants to get the next minute and 40 seconds out of the way, bring the car home and get the points, even if it is going to be certainly more than one lap down. He's certainly ailing, keeping out the way of everybody else, thinking of the bigger picture. But certainly been a disastrous weekend for Søren Spreng. He had his best ever finish in Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Germany at the Sachsenring. This is the worst weekend I can remember him having for a very long time here at the Red Bull Ring. Now, 1 minute and a quarter, just under 1 minute and a quarter remaining of this race. Flint Schuring looking like he could hold on. Will he become the 7th first-time winner in this extraordinary 2024 season for Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Germany? Alex Tauscher in car 13 had such big dreams when he got out of bed on Saturday morning. He knew he'd got a double pole position ahead of him. The first one, he ended up visiting the penalty box, and the second one, he got relegated because of picking up another reprimand. His dreams turned to tatters, and at the moment, he's in 17th place and out of the points. But Flint Schuring, with 30 seconds of timed racing on the clock, is leading the way into turn 1 and around to turn 2 at the moment. So it will be what remains of this lap, then one more between now and Flint Schuring taking a first ever win in Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Germany. Theo Overhaus, who has been in the wars all weekend, lining up Colin Bernighausen. This is for 10th place. So Colin Bernighausen doesn't doesn't look like he's got much to defend with up to turn 3. Theo Overhaus has a look to the outside, but Berninghausen has that fast racing line. Now Overhaus ducks to the inside towards turn 4. He comes once again up to about 235 kilometers an hour as they head towards turn 4. Under the heavy braking, Overhaus, will he have the inside line as they go into turn 4? Yes, he will. He'll shut the door on Colin Berninghausen. We're looking down on Theo Overhaus there. And Theo Overhaus up into 10th place, relegating Colin Berninghausen. James Kellett up into 9th place. You can't keep a good man down, just ahead of them. And Senna van Serlen ahead of James Kellett. Mikael Essmann continues to lead in the Pro-Am race. Kai Pfister in second, Robin Schlunsen in third, Søren Spreng, ailing, crippled, trying to get his way home in 22nd and last place, and 4th place in the Pro-Ams. Our race leader, Flint Scheuring, now onto the pit straight for the last time. There's some pretty bad-looking debris out on the track. Kind of hope that nobody runs over that. That'll be good for cutting a tyre. But starting the last lap of the race, Flint Scheuring, he's already up into turn 1 at the moment. He's got a big gap between himself and Harry King, 2.653 seconds. So all he needs to do is just bring it home. Cas Havercourt is 0.7 of a second behind Harry King. Then Larry Tenvoorde, who is holding off immense pressure from Robert De Haan and Huub van Eindhoven. There is Alex Tauscher coming up to turn 1. There's Horst Felix Felbermayr also in problems. Hazard lights going. He was in 17th place. Looks like he's got problems and he's going to retire as well on the last lap. Horst Felix Felbermayr, a home race for him. The Austrian driver has been looking forward to this weekend for so long, but now he retires the car with less than a lap of the race remaining. It's less than a lap for Flint Scheuring in towards turn 6 for the very last time. The young driver who has been there or thereabouts for so long, now the brother of Maurice Scheuring, can emulate his older brother as he heads towards turn 9 for the very, very last time. It is his 14th race in Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Germany. He heads towards turn 10. He's going to be a first-time win for Flint Scheuring. He is a winner in Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Germany. The 18-year-old receiving the checkered flag and taking a well-deserved win. Harry King closes in on Larry Tenvoorde in the championship with a 2nd place. Cas Havercourt, another podium for him in 3rd place, extending his position at the top of the rookie championship. Championship leader Larry Tenvoorde, a good haul of points in 4th place ahead of Robert De Haan, Huub van Eindhoven, Ariel Levy, Senna van Serlen home in 8th place, James Kellett in 9th ahead of Theo Overhaus, Colin Berninghausen in 11th. And yes, the debris was falling off Alex Tauscher's car, bits falling off it all race long. A weekend that he'll probably want to forget after so much promise. But the winner, the headline, Flint Scheuring is a winner in Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Germany. It was a few years ago when Maurice Scheuring was starting to show how good he was in Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Germany. And I was told, watch out for his younger brother. He's just as quick. He might even be quicker. Well, he's got his first win quicker than his brother did. He's done it on his first ever season. Flint Scheuring taking his first win and becoming the 7th first-time winner. You can see there as Søren Spreng brings his crippled number 5 GP Elite Porsche home, that his lead in the Pro-Am Championship has been significantly reduced because it's Mikael Essmann who takes his 2nd win in the Pro-Am Championship race here at the Red Bull Ring, ahead of Kai Pfister, Robin Schlunsen in 3rd place. The winner in the rookies, well, that was Flint Scheuring. 2nd in the rookies, Cas Havercourt, and a podium for Robert De Haan. But with 2 races remaining this season, all of the championships still very, very much wide open. Brilliant stuff. Once again, the Red Bull Ring not failing to entertain. It's Flint Scheuring who wins, 2.8 seconds to the good of Harry King, Cas Havercourt, Larry Tenvoorde, Robert De Haan, Huub van Eindhoven, Ariel Levy and Senna Van Serlen rounding out the top 10. And it's James Kellett, who is in 9th place despite a visit to the penalty box. Theo Overhaus, who's been in the wars all weekend. Colin Berninghausen, Janis Stiak, another of the penalty lap drivers ahead of Nathan Sharp, Marvin Klan, Sebastian Freimert and Alex Tauscher in 16th place ahead of Gianluca Tucciaroglu. But the Pro-Am race going the way of Mikael Essmann, Kai Pfister in 2nd, Robin Schlunsen in 3rd place, and it was the non-finish for Horst Felix Felbermayr. Søren Spreng will pick up the points for 4th place, but he's now looking over his shoulder with just 2 races remaining of the season in the Pro-Am Championship. So into Parc Fermé they come. And what a phenomenal job from Flint Schuring. What a great job from Harry King. He gave it everything, but Flint Schuring just proving to be too quick in the Team Proton Huber competition car. Flint, who finished 3rd in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux last year. He finished 5th in Porsche Carrera Cup Middle East. This surely must be an absolute highlight of his career. There's Christoph Huber, the legendary team owner, celebrating with Flint Schuring. It's been a long time coming. We knew it was going to happen at some point or the other. And you can see that in the Rookie Championship, he's moved himself up to just 12 points from Cas Havercourt. The Rookie Championship, realistically, between Havercourt, Dehaan and Schuring, although Senna Van Serlen is mathematically still in with a shot, and anything can happen. But Flint Schuring being ushered up on towards the podium. What an astonishing race for him. He hasn't stood on the podium in the overall race at all this season. He stood on the podium in the rookie race. He's had 2 rookie wins. We make that 3 now, but he's never stood on the overall podium. What a way to do it here at the Red Bull Ring. The remnants of the billboards being collected by our very hardworking track marshals. This is where we're going to see Søren Spreng getting dispatched, and potentially one of the billboards getting dispatched. It was that contact with Alex Tauscher and throwing the billboard up into the air, and then Søren Spreng with the car ailing. Well, both cars didn't survive that very well, and Tauscher receiving a penalty as a result of that. And Søren Spreng clearly a little miffed by all that's going on, and he will no doubt be pretty nervous heading into the last 2 races at the Hockenheim Ring, when we will crown the Pro-Am champion. There are no champions to be crowned, but there is a first-time winner to be crowned. There is Flint Schuring. No, you can't take it home with you. You wouldn't get that through hand luggage, would you? So he'll be heading up onto the podium in just a few minutes. But an absolutely solid job from Flint Schuring. There's Robert Dehaan. Kind of a bit of a damage limitation weekend for him. Qualifying was not what he had hoped for, but still very much in contention in the Rookie Championship. There's Cas Havercourt. He finished 3rd place overall. The number 24, Uniserved by GP Elite. And he was behind Harry King, who gave it everything. A 1st place yesterday, a 2nd place today means that the championship is still very much alive and kicking. Racing for Allied Racing, Jan Kasperlik's legendary team. A 1st and a 2nd for him this weekend. But the headlines today, it's a first-time winner for Team Proton Huber competition. Flint Schuring from the Netherlands takes the top step of the podium in the overall race and in the rookie race. So as the teams cheer on from the pit lane and we look at some great replays of Flint Schuring, he'll be remembering this one for a long time. Some great times ahead for Flint Schuring. He's been coming through the ranks at the rate of knots. His brother, a winner in Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Germany last year. And his younger brother now following in his footsteps and taking that first win, the first of what could be many wins. So the drivers will be ushered up onto the podium in a few minutes, and we will see the trophy presentation. But he had to work hard for it, didn't he? A lot of pressure from Harry King. At one point, it looked like Harry King had got a nose in front, but he held it all together, didn't make any mistakes, looked after the car, kept it on the track, and eventually fought off the hard-charging Harry King. And I have to say, you have to be something pretty special to hold off the oncoming storm that is Harry King. When he's behind you and he means business, you really need to have your wits about you. That's exactly what Flint Schuring had. And he held off and eventually extended his lead to about 2.8 seconds at the end of the race. It means that all the championships go to the final round. The final round that is in Hockenheim from the 18th to the 20th of October, the traditional season closer. We did wonder whether Larry Tenforder might get this one sewn up this weekend, but Harry King had other plans and has come back with a vengeance. And he already said, I'm not going to go down without a fight. And any more like this next time around, and it could go either way. The championship by no means over. And Flint Schuring moving himself into the rookie championship, very much in contention as well. Cas Havercourt, though, at the top at the moment, having overtaken Robert De Haan yesterday in the rookie championship. The Pro-Am Championship, Mikael Essmann closing in on Søren Spreng. So all of the championships closing in the team standings coming into today. Proton Huber competition, we're leading Uniserva by Team GP Elite by 57 points. That will have been extended as a result of Flint Schuring's win. So the team standings, decent gap there, but everything else all very much to play for. So the crews are gathering just below the podium at the moment, and in just a few moments we'll see the 1, 2, 3 coming out to receive their trophies and to receive the applause from the teams. So here comes Cas Havercourt, third place finisher. Another solid performance from him. We saw him take his first win in Budapest earlier this year. And for Cas Havercourt, that is another podium for him, his third podium. Harry King, a first and a second place. He'd offered him that when he arrived here, says, I'll have that, thank you very much. But the man who stands on the top step of the podium, a first ever win for Flint Schuring. And Ben Goronowski, race mechanic for Team Proton Huber competition, will come up to receive the trophy for the team. So with national anthem, how many times have we heard the Dutch national anthem? What is it about these drivers that come from the Netherlands? Trophies are being presented. Guido Kuchera, chairman of the board of managing directors for DECRA, presenting the third place trophy to Cas Havercourt. The project manager, customer support of Porsche Germany, Torsten Rukert, presenting second place. And Guido, once again, presenting a trophy that will mean so much to Flint Schuring. The Schuring household must have a very big trophy cabinet, and it's only going to get bigger. And the legendary team, Proton Huber competition, receive a trophy as well. So the dignitaries will run for cover in just a few moments. The photos are taken.
And guys, please come to the front afterwards for our photographer.
A quick movement to the front of the podium. And then the celebrations will start.
And now please come to the front for our photographer.
So, the overall championship goes down to the wire. The rookie championship goes down to the wire. The Pro-Am championship goes down to the wire. What a weekend it has been at the Red Bull Ring. It's all to be decided the next time we see you. The 18th to the 20th of October at the Hockenheim Ring, we will be crowning the champions of Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Germany. But the headline from this weekend, another first-time winner, the 7th first-time winner this season. This time, Flint Schering is a winner in Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Germany. We'll see you in Hockenheim. Bye-bye.